Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sublimating pens, and let me tell you, these are so fun to personalize. I'll be adding a graduation theme design to mine, which would be such a cute touch to have at graduation parties, maybe at a guest book table or as party favors. There are so many fun ways you can use sublimation pens. They're perfect for small businesses. You can add your logo or contact info on them, or create custom sets for teacher gifts, bridal showers, and so on. I found the pens at Michael's and they come in a 6-pack. On the back, it gives instructions with the temperature and time, so that is really helpful. If you're doing this for a graduation party, there will most likely be a lot of people there, so you might want to look for some that you can buy in bulk. But like I said, you can use it for a guest book or give it to just family members. The design I'm using is really generic, but what's cool is you can personalize these with a name and the year of graduation. These come with the shrink wrap, which is amazing because it's the perfect size for it and you'll need it for this project. I was really surprised by the heavy weight of the pens. They just seem like really great quality. The instructions say to disassemble the pen and remove all the parts from the barrel, so I'm doing that first. You definitely don't want to add the other pieces. They will probably melt in the oven. Now I can measure this to figure out what size to make my paper. I'm measuring the height first, and it's 4.125. It is slanted, so I just made sure to measure to the very top. I was struggling to measure the diameter of the pen, and my husband had a genius idea. He said wrap a ribbon around it, then kind of make a mark where it meets. Then use the measuring tape to measure that part of the ribbon. This measured 1.375. The image that I'm going to be using for the pins I found in Creative Fabrica. This says 2023 on it, but I just want to use this one with the graduation cap and stars. So I've downloaded this onto my computer. I'm going to upload this into Cricut Design Space. And I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller. I measured the size that I want my sublimation paper to be, so I'll go in and grab a square and make it that size. I'm also going to make this a guide. I made this smaller. I think I'm actually going to turn this rectangle. When you're lining up your guide, you just want to line it up over the design that you want. It's really hard to see with the white. I am going to switch my blank canvas to a different color to see that a little bit better. I just want to make sure that there's enough white on both sides, and that looks good. I'm going to highlight over both of these, and I am going to center them horizontally. Okay, that looks great. I might bring it down just a tiny bit more. I want to get the top of the graduation hat, but I want to get a little bit more of the star. I think that looks great. I'm going to highlight over both of these again, then I'll come down and select slice. I'm just going to delete both of these. This is my paper that I am going to keep. I'll click on the Make button. I'm making 3 pens, so over in Project Copies, I'm going to switch it to 3 and hit Apply. I have my sublimation printer selected. You do want to turn the bleed off if you're doing this in Cricut Design Space because it gives it a fuzzy border, so you definitely don't want that. I'm going to select Use System Dialog, then Print. I have my preset set to last use settings, so it should still have my sublimation settings set up, but I'll double check. For my color matching, I want it to be color sync and automatic. For my print settings, I have premium presentation, paper matte, high quality, and mirror image. So I'll hit print. I'm using a sub for my sublimation paper. I just grab a sheet and place it in the printer. Once it's done printing, I'll go in and cut around my 3 designs. I was thinking I probably could have used my Cricut to cut it out, and that guide that I used, I could have made that into a white rectangle because then it would have cut it perfectly for me, so I might try that next time. I'm cutting right along the stars since I know that's the edge. It's blurry, but I trimmed it just a little bit here. I'm just checking the sizing on the barrel here. I like to have just the tiniest bit of overlap, and I had that, so it ended up being a good size. I'm going to attempt to lint roll these. It was a little tricky to do it, and I probably didn't do the best job. Now I'm ready to add the paper to the pen barrel. This is the trickiest part of the whole project. With sublimation, you want to make sure the paper is nice and flat because it will cause some ghosting if it's not. So what I'm doing is pulling the paper as tight as I possibly can, and I'm just doing this in the center. Then I will add some heat-resistant tape right in the center there. Then I add tape going along the top and bottom of that, and sorry, my camera kept going in and out of focus. I made sure to wrap the paper around tightly with that tape as well. You've probably heard a lot of creators talk about this tape dispenser, but for projects like these, it's so nice because you basically have a third hand. It makes it a lot easier. Now I'm ready to add my shrink wrap. I just placed the pen barrel inside it. When sublimating pens, I believe the only option is a sublimation oven. I don't know if there's anything else that would work for those. If anybody knows, let us know in the comments. With these ovens, you'll need shrink wrap to place over your sublimation blank. Then I take my heat gun and shrink the plastic. I saw something in my oven, so I opened it up, and I think my 3-year-old might have been in my craft room. I found some little McDonald's basketball toys. It says to set this to 356, but I only have the option for 355, so I do that. It also says 150 seconds, which is 2.5 minutes, so I decided to set it to 3 minutes, and I'll take it out a little early. I really love this mini sublimation oven. I'm constantly grabbing it for projects. The only downfall, for me anyways, is once it's done heating up, it'll automatically start. So you have to be totally ready before you start heating it up. It doesn't take too long to heat up, but it still takes several minutes. I haven't timed it, but with my other heat press machines, I like to have them heating up while I'm preparing my sublimation blanks. It's heated up and you can see it automatically started running and started the countdown. I place the straws on the tray and I set a timer on my Google for 150 seconds, so I'll just take it out a little bit early. If you're making sublimation projects, you'll definitely want a heat-resistant glove like this. That way you can grab things out of the oven and take off the shrink wrap, things like that. My least favorite part of this project was taking off the shrink wrap. You want to do it while it's still hot. It makes it easier, but for some reason, the pens cool down so fast. It didn't even seem that hot. I like to use the Cricut weeding tool. It makes it a lot easier, but still, it takes a while. I just have to keep chipping at it. This is my favorite part and sometimes a little nerve-wracking to see if it turned out, but I'll take the tape off. And of course, the most important part, I forgot to hit record, but thankfully I had it on my phone so you can see me removing the paper. This looks so neat. Now I'll just take the paper off the other 2 pens. Now I can assemble these back together and I will show you the final look. There was only one that had a little bit of ghosting where the seam was, so I'm guessing I just didn't have the paper as flat as it needed to be. It's honestly not too noticeable, and the other two turned out amazing. I thought I'd make sure the pens actually work, and it wrote really smoothly. I'm very happy with these pens. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've made sublimation pens and how you've personalized them. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribed for more crafting content.